Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope that you stick around and subscribe for more. I am so happy to be back, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be testing out the newest addition to Colourpop's Pretty Fresh line. This is the Hyaluronic Concealer. It claims that it's a full coverage, buildable, blendable, creamy concealer with a natural finish, and this is what the packaging looks like. As you can see, it's pretty basic, simple, easy. This is a plastic container, and then this is what the applicator looks like. Concealer comes in at 30 different shades. You guys know I am not good at picking concealer shades online, so I went ahead and got two of them. The first shade is Light 50W, which as you guys can see is more on the yellow undertones. And then the second shade that I got is Light 60, which is more on the neutral undertones. I'm going to go ahead and compare both these shades to a concealer that I have been reaching out for the most as of recently. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer in the shade 135. And hopefully this will give you guys a better idea as to what colors to pick if you do decide to buy this concealer. I'm going to go ahead and leave these swatches on the back of my hand for a little bit just because I want to see if they're going to oxidize or not. But meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple of more details about these concealers. So these are oil-free, dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, and they're good for all skin types. And these are all the ingredients on the screen for you guys to take a look at if you're interested. In addition to the concealers, I also went ahead and picked up the new Pretty Fresh Precision Blending Sponge. If you guys watched my first Pretty Fresh review video, which was a couple of weeks ago, I'll have it linked right here so you guys can take a look at if you want to. But I was underwhelmed by that first sponge. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't the best. I guess where I stand is I have used it since that video. I don't mind it. However, I am not going to be repurchasing it. So that's kind of where I stand. However, I'm excited to test this one out. Maybe I'm going to like this one. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But as you guys can see, this one is just smaller in size and the color is slightly different than the first sponge. It's a lot more pinky. So I went ahead and wet both of the sponges and this is what they look like. As you can see, and I might have mentioned this in my first video, they don't get that much bigger in size once you wet them. To the touch, comparing both of them, the Precision sponge feels a lot more dense than the first blending sponge that they came out with. This one is definitely a lot softer and more squishy and smooshy than the Precision sponge. So yeah, let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, this one retails for $5 and this one is $7. So let's go ahead and apply makeup, try the concealer, try the sponge, and as always, let's just hope for the best. Okay, so I went ahead and did my base off camera, but before we go on with the concealer application, I want to tell you guys what I used today in case you guys are wondering. So for primer, I took the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. Around this time of the year, my skin just starts dying and I need all the hydration possible. So on top of that, I sprayed a little bit of this Fourth Ray Beauty Glisten Up Mist. I bought this recently and I have been reaching for it pretty much every time I do my makeup. I love it. It just gives me such a natural lit from within type of glow. And then for the base, obviously I use the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade 13W. So now I still have the swatches on the back of my hand. As you guys can see, the I think it's 60, what is this? Light 60 is on the top. It's just way too pink for me. It's just not gonna work. So I think the best option is probably 50W. But I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them next to each other so we can compare and see if they did oxidize or not. You guys can see both of them did oxidize just a little bit. I am just looking at Light 60, which is the top one, and I'm like, this is so pink. Like that would never work for me. I don't think. I know it looks a lot different because of all the lights. You guys know I have all these lights around me, but in person it just looks so pink. Okay, so today we're just gonna go ahead and use Light 50W. And I am gonna do one side at a time just because I don't know if it's gonna dry up or not. I just realized it's been sitting here for like 10 minutes and it just doesn't feel damp. So let me go ahead and go wet it a little more and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and now let's go ahead and blend it out. Okay guys, so we already have a problem and it's not the concealer, it's actually the sponge. I feel like because it's way too dense, it's hard to blend it out, so it's actually eating up all the product, and I can assure you guys that it's not stained, it's actually eating it up, because if you guys can tell, the product right here, it's completely gone. So I am, look, like it's just eating it up, and I think it's also removing the tinted moisturizer that I had under. So yeah, I don't like the sponge. So let me go ahead and add a little bit more concealer, and I'm gonna use the other sponge, the first one from the Pretty Fresh line. This is already way better than with the first sponge, and you guys can see, like, this is staining, this is eating up the product. You can see right here that darker spot, it soaked up all the product, which is not something that I like. Okay guys, so this is the concealer completely done. How am I feeling? I don't know, to be honest. I can tell you guys up front right now, I know it makes my under eyes look super bright on camera. However, in person, let me try to get closer. It's not full coverage like it says that it is. You can definitely still see my under eye circles peeking through. It does brighten that under eye area, but it's not covering it up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set it with my Thrive Cosmetics setting powder, and guys, let's just hope for the best again, because I mean, I'm honestly not feeling that great about it as of right now, if I'm being quite honest. So I was actually about to do my lower lash line, and then I noticed how badly this concealer is creasing. So I want to show you guys. Hopefully you guys can see up close. Go right here. Yeah, this is, and as you guys can see, my dark circles are definitely peeking through. So no, it's not full coverage like it claims. But let me go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so my makeup is completely done. If I'm being quite honest, I feel very weird with this lipstick color. I'm not used to wearing darker tones on my lips. I'm more of a nude pinky type of gal, but let's just pretend it looks amazing. Anyways, let's see what's going on with this concealer. Oh god, hold up. So one thing I am already noticing, I didn't notice this before, I guess when I was blending out the concealer, it was actually removing or moving around the product that I had under, which was the tinted moisturizer. And I can see right here, when I was blending it up this way, it dragged the product up, and now it's bunching. Let me see, hopefully you guys can see that right here. You can see it a little bit too in between my eyebrows, how the product is kind of bunching closer to the brow. Also, the concealer, if you look up close, you can tell that it looks very yellow in tone. So this concealer is supposed to go with the hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer, and you guys know I told you guys earlier, I am wearing this on my face today, but I just feel like they're just two completely different products, like they're not meant to go together. So I don't know guys, like I can tell you guys it is creasing. It's not full coverage because my under eyes are peeking through the product. You can definitely see it right here. And just this bunching, like that's just, I don't want that. Like if you're gonna go in, blend your concealer, you obviously don't want the product that you've already laid down under that to move around or be removed by another product. So as of right now, guys, to be honest, this is not my favorite thing, and I'm just not liking it. But we are gonna do a wear test, and I have a feeling that things are just gonna go downhill from here. But let's still just hope for the best. So it is currently 3:43 p.m. I'm gonna try to wear it as long as possible. If I'm being quite honest, I'm gonna remove this lipstick as soon as I'm done filming this because I feel really, really weird, guys. And I mean, if I'm being honest, I just want to go wash my face. The only thing that I like about my face today is my eyeshadow, but this concealer is just, I'm just not liking it, guys. And I am back, guys. So it is currently 10:49 p.m. so it's been a lot longer than I actually thought I was going to be wearing this makeup for, because if I'm being honest, I didn't like it ever since. Yeah, it's just not a good look today. But let's go over everything really quickly because I'm ready to wash my face and get in bed. So let's get started with the Hyaluronic Concealer. So first off, I can tell you guys that I feel like the shade range is kind of off. Well, not necessarily, well, yeah, the shade range, the undertones of the shade range, because I got light 50W and I feel like it's just way too yellow, but then light 60 is way too pink, as you guys saw in the swatches that I did earlier. So obviously the biggest claim is that it's full coverage, but I don't think so. And also I feel like as time went on, it kind of wore off and made my under eye area look yellow because of the undertone of the color that I used, but also it just made it look kind of cakey and tired, and then all this creasing going on. It's not a good look. Honestly, I would not recommend this concealer. I just don't see how this would work on all skin types. As you guys know, I do have combination skin. Right now it's leaning more toward the dry side, but just, I mean, nobody wants a concealer that's gonna crease this badly. And also, again, I just feel like it wore off throughout the day. So it's just, I'm not gonna recommend it. However, I still do stand by my first review of the Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I still really like this, and I still do recommend it if you want like an everyday type of base. The concealer, Colourpop, I think this is gonna be a pass for me. Maybe work on the undertones of the concealers and on the formula, because I mean, I know it's not my skin because I've used many other concealers and they don't crease this bad. So I'm just being honest, guys. I don't appreciate that it creased this bad, and it doesn't look good on my skin and I don't like it. So no, I will not recommend it. And now let's talk about this precision sponge, which is another pass for me if I'm being quite honest. I feel like it's way too dense. It doesn't stay damp for a long time, so if you do wet it at the beginning of your makeup routine, and then by the time you do get to the point where you're gonna be blending out your concealer or doing any precision blending, which is what it's meant to do, it's not gonna feel wet anymore, and you're gonna have to get up, and you know, it's just a hassle. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, if I'm sitting down to do my makeup, I don't want to have to constantly get up to get my sponge wet. Also, it did eat up a lot of the product. You guys saw earlier I mentioned the bunching of product, which I didn't realize it was doing when I was blending. I mean, I saw that it was removing the tinted moisturizer from under. You guys saw that, and I wasn't having it. But this whole bunching situation around this area and here, I still have it. It just makes my makeup look cakey, and yeah, it's just a hard pass for me. Both of these products are just a no. That pretty much wraps up today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments if you've tested out this concealer and this precision sponge and what you thought of them, or if you're gonna go buy them out, buy them out. Buy them now, even after seeing my not so great experience. Also, if you like this video, if you like watching me have a really bad makeup days, then give me a big old thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe because it's free and it's a fun time. So So until next time, bye guys.